will be in the BVI/St. Bart's area over the holidays.
This is thirsty as fuck, bro. Look at the timestamps. That nigga Jeffrey Epstein, they say shit to that nigga in 2 days. And he said, Jeffrey, let me know when I can come, bro. Let me know when I can come.
Just remember what happens on Earth stays on Earth.
Like that.
Okay, by the time this video gets out there, there's probably going to be even more, but with a brand new multi-million page Epstein data dump, I wanted to dive in and look at the most immediately damaging stuff that we have, and also talk about just how badly the government screwed up, because it is bad, like historically bad levels of incompetence. Let's start with this, because we absolutely need the context. This is Todd Blanche, former person.
Look at his lip, bro. That shit is like, he has a scar to the side. This dude looks like a fucking evil villain. Ugh, disgusting.
Personal lawyer for Donald Trump, who is now Deputy Attorney General of the United States. On January 30th, 2026, Blanche took the stage for a massive press conference unveiling that the DOJ and the FBI would be releasing about 3.5 million pages of new Epstein files as required by congressional law. The important part is at about 4 minutes and 10 seconds in, where he discusses the redaction guidelines and bloviates at length about how strict the criteria was, how hard their staff worked on these redactions, and how nothing was being withheld on the basis of national security. If you actually listened to him and took his words at face value, which you absolutely should not do, this is the most transparent administration ever. The quality of their work is unimpeachable, and the redactions that they made were only to protect victim information, nothing else.
And they fucking lied, because if you look at the stream that I put up on my VOD channel, we actually went through a little bit of the files, and there's a lot of names that are redacted into this shit. That's like, it's like, bro, like we see it. We know who this is just by like context clues. Especially if you're gonna like release names like Bill Gates and like Pusha T and Jay-Z. I think that's fake though, by the way. I think it's fake. We ain't really got no, I ain't being biased. I'm just saying it may be a little bit fake. But still, like, you know what I'm saying, if it's them, we gotta hold them accountable for that shit. But it's like, nah, bro, it's too many names in there to not like to not show who's redacted. You know what I'm saying? Like you weren't really hiding victims, bro. You were hiding your bosses, you freaky ass niggas.
Sadly, that is a lie. Over the course of today's video, I'll go through a series of examples in an effort to give as comprehensive a look as I can so far for this file dump. But at the end of it all, I want everyone to consider a question. Is the current governing administration in the United States telling the truth? Here we go. Item number 1, which is actually 2 documents in this case, EFTA 01660679 and EFTA 01660651. These documents show a collection of...
Oh, let me go back and read some.
And EFTA 01660651. These documents show a collection...
Blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13, 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing, you know, a little bit of Monica Lewinsky. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. Disgusting. Spoke with a caller who identified Blank as friend. Lead was sent to Washington office to conduct interview. Criminal history results, matching name and date of birth of criminal history in South Carolina. Date of arrest 6/18/1987 for assault and battery, high and aggravated nature. Oh, dude, she was 13, 14. And this is y'all president, by the way. This is y'all's president, bro. This is nasty. Like, when people were saying that he was a pedophile sex offender, and people was like, you have no proof, my nigga. This is the proof, bro. This is the proof that we've been trying to tell y'all the longest. Like, I hate the fact that there were so many people that I was close with that sat up here and was okay with this nigga being in the office, bro. They, like, I understand, like, the ironic thing about this is, like, if we didn't have Trump in office, we wouldn't have seen all these files and seen like all this demonic shit that the higher ups are doing. Like if Kamala was in office, we wouldn't have seen this shit. But like to see this shit actually happen in like, you know, real life and like hearing all the stories from the tin hats, it's absolutely disgusting, bro. And y'all support this shit. And if it don't apply, let it fly, bro. But it's like at age 16, while modeling, Collar attended 8 parties at Epstein's New York residence. On one occasion, Collar reported she was assaulted by Epstein. On another occasion, 2 twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, lured Collar and her friends upstairs, but they escaped back downstairs. Collar stated Orrin raped her best friend, and a third brother, Tal, raped a 14-year-old girl named Katie LNU. Collar named other individuals involved in big parties with her, other young girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. This dude is fucking sick. And this is y'all boy, bro. MAGA forever, man. MAGA forever, I guess.
Of insane allegations against.
Like, just reading, like, some of the stuff that's on here is just absolutely disgusting. Complainant reported his ex-girlfriend's daughters were victims of Epstein's and one was murdered. While working as a limousine driver, complainant recalled picking up Donald Trump in 1995 to take him to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. During that ride, complainant recalls some of the things Trump spoke about on his phone. Oh, yeah, we read this in the last video. Ugh.
Donald Trump. These come from the NTOC, National Threat Operations Center at the FBI, which is where they process and vet public tips, and some of them are very obviously marked as not credible. Others are flagged as no contact made after attempting to follow up with the caller. But here and there, you start finding that some of these reports resulted in a, quote, lead being sent to conduct interviews. Obviously, I can't comment on the authenticity of these allegations overall, but there's something else I found interesting, something far more important in my mind that speaks to the credibility of the DOJ, the Department of Justice itself, and their decision-making when it came to these redactions. Look at these 2 documents. Separate files, sure, but not always different content. Quote, complainant was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate blank, and then it's all redacted. However, this file isn't. The rest of the sentence says, quote, incidents involving police which requested in mandatory psychiatric evaluations.
Oh, so these niggas...
That right there...
So they redact stuff, but they posted 2 files. They probably posted 2 files per page. Like, they kept repeating stuff over and over again. They were forgetting the stuff that was redacted. Maybe. Because some of this stuff, like, even, like, right here in this, like, white box on complainant summary, the second white box, like, some of that stuff is, like, not all the way redacted, you know? Like, it's very sloppy.
Although small in a vacuum, is the very first example in a massive, massive pattern. A pattern where the DOJ is redacting things that make no sense. Things that they have no legal right to withhold, and things that may in fact matter a great deal. We just don't really have the ability to know because we don't have the full picture. Example, they literally redacted the word none in this file. And you can straight up read some of the other redactions because they're not centered properly. It's a joke. Even still, keeping in mind that the goal here is to analyze everything as objectively as possible, we need to do a bit of a fact check because despite massively viral social media claims all over the place, these 2 files were not actually pulled down or deleted immediately after publication. There were some 404 errors displayed on the DOJ website briefly, but they were ultimately resolved within minutes, I think, actually. And the files are now clearly visible again. I'm not sure why that happened. The sheer amount of traffic may very well have played a part as people flooded into the directory specifically searching for those particular files. And it's entirely possible that the DOJ panicked, deleted them, and then reinstated them, like they appear to have done previously with a different batch of files.
That could be a thing as well, because these dudes are sloppy, man. Like I said in my last video, sloppy joes, bro. This is the Trump presidency. It's just a bunch of sloppy pigs in the office that are unfortunately, but fortunately, revealing all the secrets. A bunch of fucking idiots, man. Like, I didn't mean to hit that one, but just a bunch of fucking idiots, bro. Jeez Louise.
But this time I honestly see no indication of that happening. This time it feels like a genuine glitch. Do you want to know what isn't a glitch? This right here, an FD 302 victim interview which is mostly redacted, clearly protecting certain perpetrator names alongside the potential victims. But even from what we see unredacted, quote, Maxwell presented blank to Trump and they had a conversation for approximately 20 minutes. Blank was invited to Mar-a-Lago, where she was given a tour by Trump with Epstein and Maxwell present. Nothing happened between Blank and Trump. By the things that Maxwell said, it was made clear that Blank was available. Maxwell said things like, "Oh, I think he likes you. Aren't you lucky? This is great." End quote. Put whatever kind of spin on that you want to. But what I see personally is a victim being presented to someone with the obvious implication that they can have her if they want her. These are very serious allegations, and they're not the only ones. The sole focus of the video, by the way, isn't just Donald Trump, so I'm not going to read all of them, but the gist of it is that there are incredibly damaging revelations about how close Trump and Epstein were, so far beyond what we've been told is true.
Stated Epstein introduced her to Trump, who subsequently forced her head down to his exposed penis, which is subsequently like, response, Trump punched her in the head and kicked her out. Blank, remember Epstein introduced her to Trump saying, "This is a good one, huh?" And Trump responded, "Yeah." Weinstein. Blank stated she gave Weinstein the massage, during which he fondled her and offered to pay her extra if he could. Damn, this nigga was trying to bust on chest. This nigga was dope, bro. These niggas are nasty. And then Prince Andrew, bro, I actually searched that at work earlier today on accident, and they just showed the photo of Prince Andrew over a little girl, nigga. This is fucking insane, and y'all like these people. That's crazy.
It is no longer possible to hand wave the files away.
Yeah, bro, like, this is crazy, dude. They was literally just raping people, bro. Like, these are the people that people be sucking off metaphorically on a day-to-day basis. And they think this is like, okay, like, nah, this is absolutely fucking disgusting.
It's just a Democrat hoax. Pivoting back to the first two documents.
And it's people like that think this is a Republican versus Democrat thing. No, my nigga, this is literally us versus them. You think everybody who disagrees with you is a Democrat? No, you fucking idiot. We're disagreeing with you because you're dumb. You sound dumb. It's not a Democrat thing to be smart. And if you think that is, then you're a fucking idiot. And you're sitting here thinking that being a Republican is to be an idiot. And I don't understand that type of ideology. I don't. Because these people are literally eating babies. They are raping people under the age of 18. Not even saying that it's okay to do it for people over the age of 18, because it's fucking disgusting to rape anybody. But these are the people that are in power that's doing this. Niggas always want to think they on a separate team. No, bro. Like, you don't have this type of money to go on an island and eat people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have that power, bro. You're never going to be like them. These are a different type of breed of people. Understand that. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking Democrat. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking Republican, because none of that shit matters when we have people who are in power that are sexually assaulting little girls and little boys and eating them. Get that through your thick ass head, you acorn brain idiots. Like, shit is crazy, bro. These niggas are weird.
I also want to point out something else. In between the spreadsheets and the accusations, we have emails in August of 2025. But the thing about these emails is that here we can see that they clearly acknowledge redacting a reporter's name who explicitly is not a victim. Anthony Sibeli, I think is how you say it. While also on one of the sheets, failing to redact an actual potential victim name, Leslie McMichael, in a further display of incompetence. Like I said previously, the video isn't focused solely on Donald Trump, but we're looking at well over 5,000 mentions of his name, and that's only the searchable portions of the archive that they've indexed, which hasn't even all been released so far. Let's move on to someone else, okay? Arguably the largest individual catalyst who has been deliberately stoking speculation about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, and that is Elon Musk.
Mm.
Elon has long maintained his near total
This lizard.
separation from Epstein.
Look how this nigga's posture is, and y'all think he's cool? Ugh. This nigga got the posture of a fucking gopher. Just a straight up loser.
Epstein. He claims that the photograph of him and Ghislaine Maxwell is just a photobomb that she perpetrated and he had no idea about it. He claims that he was invited to Epstein Island but refused, and he desperately lashes out at anyone who insinuates otherwise over the past several months. Quote, "Shame on Sky News for this utterly misleading headline. Anyone pushing this false narrative deserves complete contempt. Epstein tried to get me to go to his island and I refused. Yet they named me even before Prince Andrew, who did visit."
Well, shut the
Strong words, very defensive, but it turns out that we actually have emails between Musk, Epstein, and Leslie Groff, one of Epstein's assistants, reading, quote, Elon to Epstein, "Will be in the BVI/St. Bart's area over the holidays."
This nigga was thirsty as fuck, bro. Look at the timestamps. Look at the timestamps. That nigga Jeffrey Epstein ain't say shit to that nigga in 2 days. And he said, Jeffrey, let me know when I can come, bro. Let me know when I can come. Let me know when I can come to the island. I'm trying to come over, bro. Let me come over, bro. Weird ass dude. And then he want to change the name of Twitter to X. And y'all fuck with that. Bro, come on, man. This nigga is a lame ass dude. What did Duke Jenner say? If you not invited, don't ask to go. Elon Musk, you that type of nigga that's gonna ask to go, ho.
Time to visit.
Shit crazy.
End quote. That's a little bit curious given his proclamations that Epstein invited him to the island, but let's read on. Epstein replies, "Any day 1st to 8th. Play it by ear if you want. Always space for you." After which Elon says, "Okay, probably the 1st then."
Look at this shit. He said that on December 15th. This nigga Epstein hit him back on the 25th saying, "Nah, bro, the 1st ain't even cool for me. Pull up on the 2nd or the 3rd. That'd be cool. I'll come get you." And then this nigga Elon Musk a few hours later was like, "I bet." This nigga weird, bro.
They correspond back and forth a bit longer. But anyone who reads this conversation can decidedly say with certainty that Epstein was not asking Elon to go to his island. Elon was trying to go. Oh, that's not enough? Okay.
What a weird ass boy.
I can understand that. Some people really drank the Kool-Aid. Here's an email from Musk to Epstein after Epstein asks, "How many people will you be for the heli to the island?" Saying, quote, "Probably just Tallulah and me." Tallulah was his wife at the time. "What day/night will be the wildest party on your island?" End quote. Epstein tried to get me to go to his island and I refused.
Caught this nigga in 4K.
"Oh, look at me. I created a Tesla. I'm a fat lying bitch and I want to make everyone know that I'm good at Path of Exile and Diablo. Oh, Epstein tried to get me to this island and I refused."
Come on now, Elon. Come on, bro. We know you lame, bro. You've been lame even before, even during the filming of Iron Man, when you decided to be like,
"Oh yes, I want to be an Iron Man if I let you come to my hotel."
And then it was like, all right, bro, just come be an Iron Man for just a second. Because you wanted to be Iron Man, and now you want to sit here and lie and say,
"Oh no, Epstein tried to get me to his island."
Nigga, no, bro. We see through the facade. Lame ass nigga. Like, bro, you wanted to go to the island, you freaky boy.
Okay, yeah. Ultimately, for this particular set of exchanges, it doesn't look like Elon actually attended the party in 2012 or 2013, but a couple of months later, in February, we see this thread between Musk and Epstein, seemingly indicating that Epstein was given some kind of private tour of SpaceX. Interestingly, when it comes to Epstein receiving tours of various facilities, that's not even the only example. Right here, with this email, we can look at the competence of the redaction team yet again, and it's really not good. In this particular email from March of 2014, Epstein is corresponding with an unknown, redacted individual, and yet in this next thread, document EFTA 0098580, we can see the same exact email, this time unredacted, with the name Alan Jones.
These niggas are dumb, bro. Just incompetent. You couldn't even redact the files all the way. You like, was you high? Or do they just not give a fuck? Cause I'm starting to think right now they just don't care, bro. There's no way you're sitting here telling me that they made copies of the redactions but placed them in the DOJ website, one file redacted, one file not redacted. Like, what? Who was behind this?
There's
no way that nobody was doing this on purpose. There's no way that they weren't doing this on purpose, bro. Because it's like, you're sitting here and telling me that you redact one page and on the next page it's the same message unredacted. Because to me, it's like, what's the point? What was the point of redacting it? Are we being gaslit?
Free Epstein. Jeff months. Quote, did visit assistants, reading, quote, Elon to Epstein, will be in the BVI/St. Bart's area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit? End quote. That's a little bit curious given his proclamations that Epstein invited him to the island, but let's read on. Epstein replies, any day 1st to 8th. Play it by ear if you want. Always space for you. After which Elon says, okay, probably the 1st then. They correspond back and forth a bit longer, but anyone who reads this conversation can decidedly see how Lula and party on me. Okay, yeah. Ultimately, for this particular set of exchanges, it doesn't look like Elon actually attended the party in 2012 or 2013, but a couple of months later, in February, we see this thread between Musk and Epstein, seemingly indicating that Epstein was given some kind of private tour of SpaceX. Interestingly, when it comes to Epstein receiving tours of various facilities, that's not even the only example. Right here, with this email, we can look at the competence of the redaction team yet again, and it's really not good. In this particular email from March of 2014, thread, exact email, this time unredacted, with the name Alan Jones. There is no justifiable or legal reason to be redacting that man's name. Just for the sake of really hammering this point home so that even the brain-dead fans of Elon Musk are still able to fully comprehend, let me read one more email thread before moving on to the next document. This one, December of 2012, which for clarity's sake is after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of procuring a minor for prostitution in 2008. Quote from Epstein, you are welcome to stay or just come for the day. Plenty of room. I will send heli to get you. End quote. To which Elon replies, do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of sanity this year, and so once my kids head home after Christmas, I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for.
Why is he typing like that? This is so weird, dude. Like, is he trying to like encrypt what he's saying? Because this is all over the place. Like the little dashes and stuff, it's like there's nowhere on the keyboard you can press the equal sign. Unless this nigga got a freaky phone. I don't know, bro.
End quote. Still not finished, by the way. Epstein replies, understood, I will see you on St. Barth. The ratio on my island might make Talila uncomfortable.
Just like they're all doing it.
After which Elon chimes in again, quote, ratio is not a problem for Tallulah, end quote. Honestly, I really don't think I have to spell it out here, but this is Elon Musk asking to join the most notorious pedophile in recent history on his personal island to let loose, deliberately requesting to be there for the wildest parties. And when Epstein indicates ratio, as in a lot of young women, which might make Elon's wife uncomfortable, Elon says, not a problem. And this takes place years after Epstein was convicted of sex crimes. Riddle me that one, Elon fans. Side point, here's two different versions of the same exact page that the DOJ uploaded. One of them redacts Elon's email address, the other redacts metadata. Combined, you can see the full page, obviously, thus rendering all of the redactions void. And They even shouldn't have been censored in the first place, so double whammy, amazing. Now that we're talking about billionaires, however, let's just keep talking about that precious class of person, the billionaires.
It's getting disgusting
Remember Bill
out
Gates,
here.
notoriously close with Epstein for
Oh yeah,
decades?
this nigga was freaky as fuck, bro. If you don't know, Bill Gates have been outed as catching a little bit of a burn down under, and he ended up giving it to his wife. And then he asked Epstein, yo, can I get some meds for my little bit of problem down here? But I gotta give it to my wife a little bit, and like a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of,
You know the deal.
without her knowing. Epstein was like, I got you, bro. Shit crazy. These niggas are sick.
Yeah, this email right here appears to show that Gates allegedly requested antibiotics from Epstein so that he could secretly give them to Melinda after contracting an STD from Russian girls. Quote, to add insult to the injury, you then implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD, your request that I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your penis. You also made it clear to me that I am not to refer to blank, as that is another topic that must remain between the two of us. End quote. I'm just going to throw this out there. Having secrets between you and Jeffrey Epstein that have to remain between the two of you doesn't look very good. In fact, it might make some people think that you're guilty of heinous crimes. Maybe.
Didn't this man make
For
Microsoft?
context, by the way, speaking to Vanity Fair in March of 2022.
Oh, look at
Melinda
this
Gates
soulless
said, quote,
demon. Look at this soulless demon. Ew. Ew, bro. Do you see her eyes? Oh my God.
Gates said, quote,
Come on, bro. Don't do this to me, YouTube. I hate this new little YouTube thing. Shit ass.
Vanity Fair in March of
Look, bro. Like, it's just soulless, man. What the fuck? Ew. It's like she's wearing somebody's skin. Absolutely gross, man.
2022. Melinda Gates said, quote, I did not like that he had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. No, I made that clear to him. Then saying, after meeting Epstein a single time, quote again, I regretted it the second I walked in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified.
Okay, never mind. Wait, were you still with Bill? Were you still with Gates? Oh, she left him after 27 years. You know, I remember when they actually broke up, but it's like I didn't know it was over this. Wow. No, maybe she's not a soulless lizard. You know, maybe I had my, maybe I was wrong about her.
My heart breaks
My bad, Melinda.
for those women, end quote. At various times afterwards, she heavily insinuates that association with
Yo,
Epstein
what's up,
was one of
Hunt?
the factors behind
Orange Sun, dude, appreciate that heart, brother. Hope you have a great night and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
their entire divorce. And if I had to speculate here,
These files are nasty, by the way. We checking out a little video about it.
I would say that sharing secrets with Epstein and trying to sneak her antibiotics could hypothetically have caused a marriage to crumble. Jumping over to an entirely separate but distinctly kind of related topic, theories have been circulating for many, many years that Epstein was an agent of Israeli intelligence, Mossad. And this document right here, a CHS report, confidential human source, directly claims that Donald Trump and Alan Dershowitz as well were co-opted and compromised by Israel.
Ooh, thought it was America first. No, I think, you know what I think? This is gonna be wild. Hella hot take, but stay with me. Israel caught this man Jeffrey Epstein being freaky hell, or listen, I ain't suicidal, but the CIA was probably like, hey, we know this freaky ass nigga, he freaky as fuck, but he can get some dirt on people. And Israel's like, I bet we got him. You know what I'm saying? They caught him doing some weird shit, right? And then when they caught him, he was like, you know what? He can get some dirt on people. He can go in and out of anywhere he wants to. So do this for me, for us, Epstein. You know, be our runner, be our Hermes. You know, run around the world, get us a lot of Lolitas, and we give you the money. And then he met like Trump. He was like, hey, bro, you know, so I got some Lolitas, some shit you can't even buy. And Trump's like, I bet. And then he got to his island. He was like, damn, bro, I'm about to be a freaky ass nigga. And it was up from there. He saw Prince Andrew. He was like, dang, Andrew, you freaky too? Shit, let's be freaky brothers, you know what I'm saying? And then this dude Jeffrey Epstein, he got on Xbox Live and he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you keep talking shit on this Call of Duty, you keep throwing that tomahawk at me, I'm gonna show you a tomahawk. I got some friends at hot places. I'm gonna show you a tomahawk, or I'm gonna take you to my island. And that's why he got kicked off. Freaky ass nigga.
I think it's worth noting that confidential human source intelligence is not a public tip line. It's a cultivated agency source working directly with the FBI prior to that point in time. It's not an agent or an employee, it's a source, which doesn't necessarily mean it's true, by the way, but it's not a random phone call. This is a significantly elevated level of intelligence gathering far beyond just anonymous tips. Still, as with practically every single other document, the DOJ and the FBI, I guess, appear to be breaking the law. Looking at this right here, we can see Harry Tenosodenbyo, however the fuck you say that. That name is clearly visible right here, but then redacted in the very same line. This guy is an Indonesian billionaire politician.
What are these motherfuckers doing? They're not even redacting shit. They're sloppy as fuck. It's like they did this shit last minute.
By the way, continuing the...
They put this shit into ChatGPT. I'm already calling it right now. They put the files in the ChatGPT. It was like, listen, get his name, her name, his name out of there. And ChatGPT was like, I bet. And here's 2 copies just for reference. But them dumbass niggas was like, you know what? We're going to post this shit all the way down the DOJ website. And boom, now we got Harry... I don't even know how to say his name, but it's like, I shouldn't even know what this man's name is. But of course, he part of the Freaky Frogs too. So it's like, damn, now I gotta know his name. But I wouldn't know his name if they wasn't sloppy. This is fuck, bro.
Trend of billionaires being deeply...
Look at this nigga. He looks like a bomber man.
...associated with Epstein, but it's difficult to emphasize just how pathetic
just one of the lamest looking dudes ever. Oh my God.
Is to have the same name illegally redacted on one side, but left plainly visible on the other side of the same line of the same document. A child could quite literally do a better job of redacting these files. Not necessarily a billionaire, yet, I should say, but Howard Lutnick, Secretary of Commerce appointed by Trump himself, was also visiting Epstein's island as per these files.
This fucking owl. I'm sorry.
Corresponding with Leslie Groff at the time. Once again, Leslie Groff was Epstein's assistant, and this happened in 2012, despite Lutnick in 2025 saying, quote, in the 6 to 8...
These niggas freaky, bro! Look at this shit. Hi, Jeff. We're landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart's and Giulia on Monday at some point. Where are you located? What is the exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? I have a couple, Michael and Marcy Learman, that's how you say his name. Michael and Marcy Learman with me on my boat, and each of us have 4 children, 2 16s, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, 11, and a 7-year-old. These are the motherfuckers that run the world. Some gross ass people, bro.
Steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again, referring to Epstein, after an interaction from 2005. Don't believe me? Okay, sure. That's fine. Here's the actual video. It's a whole lot worse.
And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. Really? So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Oh yeah, dude. He's so bad that Howard Lutnick was directly emailing with Epstein and his assistant about going to lunch on the island in 2012, 7 years after he vowed to never be in the same room with him.
It took this nigga 7 years to be a freaky ass boy. He was pondering over it for a while. So he was like, you know, that Epstein guy, he has a lot of money. Maybe I can see what's up with him. And now look at you, a freaking emails, weird ass. Oh gosh, bro. I hate this so much.
Because he's gross. He really put his foot down on that one, didn't he? Moving on, we have Kevin Warsh, Trump's current pick to replace Jerome Powell as chairman of the Federal Reserve, who also apparently went visiting on the island for the very same party, making me wonder just how many people in the current administration were straight up friends with the guy well and truly after his conviction in 2008. However, just to reiterate one of my sort of pillar arguments here, the greatest blunder by far are the redactions. Frankly, I'm honestly baffled. They redacted a fucking Wikipedia article from 2022 about Trump. Look here. This is an archived version from the exact same time period where they took out words in the DOJ files like Italia, DC, and Stone, as in Roger Stone, despite his name appearing 7 other times in the same article. You could not possibly fuck up these redactions any worse if you literally tried to. It's straight up insane how many completely unnecessary and totally irrelevant redactions are in these files, not to mention the stuff that they just messed up or failed to do. How about this? Here's another troubling exchange. Email from Epstein to an unknown individual. Quote, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video." To which the unknown person replies that they're in China. Epstein then says, "Hope to see you." Alarmingly, that's not even the only mention of torture, because in September of 2011, we have these emails between a man named Tancredi Marchiolo and Epstein, in which Epstein says, quote, "What would you like me to do with your friend? Do you want me to try to do her or just torture her?" Tancredi Salvatore Marchiolo, as far as I can tell, is a hedge fund guy, formerly a partner at Bremner Capital, and now potentially working at a place called Harbor V Limited as a director after using a slightly different name in the filings. Not entirely sure who this guy is, but he shows up a lot in these files directly with Epstein.
What the hell?
Well over 1,000 mentions. Going on a bit of a tangent right now, some people may not be fully aware of the scope here. This isn't just Epstein and a few friends, and I care more about these other policies. This is a collection of the richest and most powerful people in the entire world who enabled and perpetuated the abuse for years. Here's another interesting bit. This is an email chain between Epstein and the Russian deputy economic minister at the time, Sergei Belyakov. Quote from Epstein, "How are you? I need a favor. There is a Russian girl from Moscow, blank, attempting to blackmail a group of powerful businessmen in New York."
It was the girl who burned Bill Gates. She said, "My shit itching right now. You know what? I'm getting all you motherfuckers and putting y'all in a motherfucking pen. Cause my shit burning right now. Bill Gates, you the first one, nigga."
It is bad for business for everyone involved. She arrived in New York Saturday or last week staying at blank, end quote. And the reply that he gets says, quote, "Give me a few days to get information about her," followed by, "Hi, Jeffrey. Tomorrow I'm meeting with a guy who knows her / about her. If you have any details about case you have mentioned, it could help," end quote. In response, Epstein says, "Saying powerful men taking advantage of women like her, etc." And I don't know what eventually happened to this poor girl, but I really don't think that they just bought her donuts and said, "Hey, please stop." We are being told by the Trump administration with their intentionally compromised law enforcement agencies that there was no blackmail ring. Epstein was alone. There were no other prosecutable leads, no other perpetrators to investigate or involved or trafficking to anyone or by anyone, and that we should shut up and stop asking questions. The FBI director has been saying that. The attorney general has been saying that. All of his top officials are backing him when they say that there's nothing to see. Meanwhile, we have literal correspondence between Epstein and Russian officials about a young woman blackmailing powerful businessmen because they took advantage of her, which was the entire premise of what Epstein did. And yet, also this Tancredi Marchiolo guy, I mean, you have people corresponding with Epstein thousands of times saying that they're giving and receiving torture videos from him, right? And yet, somehow this painfully self-evident spiderweb of perpetrators and their sick, twisted social network have faced zero consequences. The Epstein files may not result in widespread accountability, okay? Dejectedly, I'm accepting that fact. But
you said with video, this is the worst of the Epstein files, are corrupt elites.
The one thing that they have done is pull back the curtain for a whole lot of people on who exactly runs the world. They're not like you and me. They're fucking evil.
No problem.
I could go on and on and on. So for the sake of the video not being 10 hours long, here's one final critical document. If you search during the first party in the DOJ archive, you get 3 items, 1 in dataset 9 and 2 in dataset 10. This is an extremely graphic accusation against Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, alleging a victim that was only 13 years old. And each of these 3 documents has different redactions.
What? There's no way. There's no way they fucked up this bad. Dude, Donald Trump is a fucking sexual predator. And this is right here. This is it. This is insane, bro. This is right here. You cannot make this shit up. This is on the DOJ website. What the fuck? Yo, this just proves it, bro. This just proves it.
Document 1 has address, case number, and half of the names redacted. Document 2 redacts the names, but not the address or the case number. And document 3 only redacts half of the address and the case number, but not the names. Collectively, in my view, these 3 documents perfectly exemplify the incompetence of the Epstein cover-up. All 3 of them fail.
I'm telling you, somebody on the inside did this shit on purpose, bro. They had to. Either they did this on ChatGPT or they did this on purpose. Because there's no way y'all could fuck up like this, bro. There's no way. This is absolutely insane.
Every single conceivable sense of the word, to not only uphold the law as ordered by Congress, but also to protect personal information and the identities of potential victims, while also over-redacting the case number, with no justification, in a triple threat display of abject, complete, disgusting, and shameful failure. This administration is a corrupt, incompetent circus.
Real.
Genuinely, the only thing that I can think of now is that they used an AI program to do these redactions.
How did I know?
You know the deal.
How did I know? I'm not the only one thinking it. I'm not like... There's no way, bro. There's no... Like, that's probably the reason why they was pushing so hard for AI. They was trying to get this shit ready to redact. My gosh, man.
Ironically, I think that's like the most likely situation. Nothing else explains why random words would be redacted, fragments of public Wikipedia articles censored, with so many duplicate documents that all have different portions removed. Everybody gets hyperbolic on YouTube. I understand that totally. But this is the most pathetic display I have ever seen from the United States government. As kids, even as young adults for that matter, people often think, well, it's a big official agency, therefore they must have at least some experts in the room. And it makes sense. Why wouldn't they? We get caught in this sort of intellectual trap of assuming that people in those positions of authority are somehow deserving of that position. By nature of them having it, they must be, right? But the sad reality is that the people running this country right now at the highest levels of government and law enforcement and civil service are fucking morons. They're corrupt, self-dealing, manipulative snakes who lie about their associations, their motives, and their history, where the only solution, in my opinion, is to jail them. I doubt it's ever
100%, 100%, 100%.
You know the deal.
We gotta get these niggas out of here, bro. Like, shit. I don't want to say what I want to say, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got time for niggas, kicking through my windows and shit. But some justice has to come. Some justice has to come.
They're going to happen, but hey, I'm allowed to dream. Documents are obviously still being released. Dataset 12 is now live, which I'm already starting to go through, and I can almost guarantee that this won't be the last time I talk about all this stuff. But for right now, that's it. Hopefully this is a little bit of a more comprehensive look at the files than a lot of other people have done so far, but yeah, that's all of it. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. A special VPN deal, of course, locals and Patreon, channel memberships, etc., etc. I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching. Question everything, and have a nice night.
W Giraffe. But yeah. So what's the video called? The worst of the Epstein files. Yeah, my final thoughts on this. Dude, I already knew it was like some weird shit going on, just because like cartoons and stuff back then, they was actually like low-key informing us on like what the Illuminati was. But understanding now that the Illuminati is like, not saying that it's not real. I mean, now that it is real and stuff, like, not saying that it wasn't real or anything like that, but it's like, now, like, seeing the actual shit they're doing, like, we have proof that these people are like taking children and doing the most disgusting shit ever to him. I did not mean to hit that button. It's just, I don't know, bro. Because tomorrow we're gonna have to look into like other countries and seeing what they're talking about as far as the Epstein files as well too, because I want to get a little broader like spectrum of what's happening. But man, I don't know, dude. This is weird. It's like I'm indifferent about this though, because it's like, yeah, if we didn't have Trump as the president, we probably would not have known, and everything probably would have been like okay as far as like a Tsukuyomi, you know what I'm saying? Like we in a genjutsu, a illusion, a hallucination or something like that. But now that like the veil is like lifted this year, it's like, dude, I don't know if we can, like, as Americans can really handle this type of shit and do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Because Democrats ain't gonna do shit. Republicans, they just gonna bust on each other about this shit. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's all we gotta do is stay a little bit informed. But let me know how y'all feel down below. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, do your due diligence. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace out.